Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to Court EDI Digester. What have we got for you today? We have today The Guardian, a newspaper. Though why anybody listens to them, I don't know. But they do, don't they? Like, what? Guardian? Really? The Guardian? So, The Guardian. Okay, it's silly o'clock in the morning again. Right, The Guardian. Okay, so, become a warrior teacher. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe, but share this from Twitter. Share this from Twitter. Share this from YouTube for me, because I'm so shadow banned on Twitter again. I got this morning's back. Just insane. And this is written by someone called Amelia Gentleman, which is quite ironic, really. You'll see why. Right. Delays, rows and legal challenges inside the stalled new NHS Gender Identity Service. Guardian analysis reveals chaotic efforts to open 2 new units offering new treatments to children with gender dysphoria. Right, okay, so you know what my position is on this. They shouldn't exist. That's my position, okay? I want absolute justification for why they do. So they shouldn't exist. But Amelia says here, when NHS England announced the closure of the Gender Identity Development Service, GIDS, for children at the Tavistock Clinic in July 2022, officials were clear about what would come next. They said the unit would shut in the spring of 2023, when it would be replaced by 2 fully operational preliminary regional hubs in London and Liverpool, which would have a different approach to treating patients. Parents who expressed concern about a potential gap in service provision were assured there would be a smooth transition and overall services would be expanded. Were they? Were they now? Is that what you've discovered in your investigation? Is it the Guardian? They were told that services would be expanded. I wonder who told them that? Because I don't remember that being part of what they were going to do. Maybe, have I got it wrong? I mean, it's obvious that if they're building more, it's going to expand, but to be told that? Just over a year later, the reverse has proven to be the case. Good gracious, thank God. Right, thank God. An analysis by The Guardian reveals how chaotic the situation has become. The opening of the hubs has been delayed by more than a year amid difficulties in recruiting staff and tensions over how to train employees in caring for young people with gender dysphoria. See? So the automatic assumption is they've got something called gender dysphoria. We know now that this is not a thing, that it is a symptom of another problem, borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, ADHD. There's always comorbidities, right? But here we go. They're centering in The Guardian. They're centering, once again, they still center the idea of gender dysphoria, which is in fact body dysmorphia. We've got to stop using the language of the cult. Body dysmorphia, right? Now, meanwhile, the waiting list of young people seeking help has grown to 5,766. Yeah, if you had an educational triage, that would be 8 people. That's my prediction, but then it would be, wouldn't it? Because I'm a nutter. If I understand you're not well. Right, okay, here's go here. You're going to go here for 2 weeks, okay? And that's the educational part of what we do, and we'll talk to you at the end of the 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you take these young people away, or however it is you want to do it, and you traumatise them beyond belief about the truth of all this. That's what you do, Guardian. That's what you do, right? You traumatise them. There's 5,766 of them, all of whom should be utterly traumatised by the reality of the gender industry and the lie of gender identity and gender dysphoria. Traumatise them. It's the only way forward. This is the truth of it. Let's talk about John Money. The development, what happened was then, the development that there were, these 16 and 17-year-olds who were going to go on the adult waiting list, where they're likely to receive a different, less exploratory form of treatment, so concerned the mother of 2 17-year-olds that they launched a judicial review challenging the stark disparities between the child and adult services. Close them both down. Sorry, close them. To complicate matters further, an NHS consultation designed to gather views on how best to support children with gender dysphoria has identified 2 irreconcilable outlooks on the best approach. One group is cautious about the prescription of puberty blockers, while the second is suspicious of exploratory therapy, arguing that it could enter the realms of conversion practices. It is conversion of gay people, mostly, right? But in totality, of children in distress for whatever reason it may be, of which there are 25 reasons before you get to gender. This is the Guardian being balanced, by the way. I mean, that's quite rare, isn't it? Normally I'd expect to see, just cut them all off. They're as bad as I am. Tension has also emerged in the small team charged with developing teaching materials for staff at the new clinics. There are polarised views on how quickly patients with gender dysphoria should be assisted towards social and medical transition, and how much focus should be given to other issues present in their lives, such as trauma and homophobic bullying. So what they've done is they've imported the nutters that wrecked the original clinic into the new ideas, and they brought their nuttery with them. That's what's happened, right? Right, close them, terrible, awful, homophobic, doing damage, shut them down. Right, we're going to open something different, right? So if you put the advert up, we don't need to. Why? There's a note, the nutters from the other place want to come with us. Great! Great, we won't have to pay the recruitment costs. Come on then, you lot. Let's start again from scratch. What? What? It's absolutely insane. Imagine if it was the private sector. Right, the business failed. Well, bad management, bad leadership, staff were lazy. Right, okay, so talking to the start of the business. Yeah, who are you going to employ? Everybody else we employed in the other one. Grand. We're guaranteed success. It's utterly insane. Utterly insane. On such a sensitive subject, and at a time when the NHSE's approach to treating children with gender dysphoria is being fundamentally rebuilt, perhaps it is not surprising that so many difficulties have emerged. Officials acknowledge that the complexities of designing and commissioning the new service model and recruiting and training a new clinical workforce have led to timetable revisions. There should only be one timetable revision. It ends. It ends. If for young people, there will never be any kind of physical transition. There will never be the application of puberty blockers. There will never be the giving of hormones to those under 18, because this business about clinical trials, you start doing that, we're going to come after you for experimenting on children, right? So that's not going to happen, folks, right? So really what we've got here is a fudge that nobody needs. That's what I think. That's what I think. But then I would, wouldn't I? I'm like that. So they've got the schedule disbanding the Tavistock Kids was twice been pushed back by 6 months. The first pilot service was due to open later this month. That's Great Ormond Street, the Evelina Children's Hospital in South London and Mortley NHS Trust, with a skeleton staff of 12 clinicians and an initial caseload of just a dozen families. However, officials now say that the service is not ready for patients and staff are working to an April deadline. It's great, isn't it? The further we push it back, the better it is for everyone concerned, especially those that think they need it. Go on, tell me I'm wrong. Clive will go, now listen here, you, because he's Clive's a medic. He understands it much better than I do. Whereas I'm like, no, shut it. Close it down. It says here that the rationale for closure was that the Tavistock Clinic had not managed to keep up with soaring demands. That's not the rationale. That wasn't the rationale. The rationale was the place was full of homophobia. The rationale was we're damaging children. So the Guardian's gone off piece to get here. Right, what can we say that'll appease the few people that read us? Well, just say it was, X, Y, Z. That's what they're doing. They've only got about 90,000 viewers, apparently. Guardian. Give it another 10 years, I'll have that many. Dr. Hilary Cass, the paediatrician charged with reviewing the NHS approach to children with gender dysphoria, said a shift was needed because there had been a dramatic change in the case mix of referrals from predominantly natal males to predominantly natal females presenting with gender incongruence in early teen years. ROGD, rapid onset gender dysphoria. It's a societal cult. It's a social contagion. You go into the schools, right? So we've got nutters everywhere. We've got them in the NHS and in the schools, and they're keeping the pipeline going that buggers up the kids. The NHS, who's that lunatic? Heartland, right? She's a bit of a nutter, isn't she? Heartland. So Heartland's got, with GLAD, the Gay and Lesbian Association of Dentists and Witch Doctors, right? They're doing their thing, eh? In Ireland, we've got Tenny with Tara Hewitt. All these loons that were involved at the beginning are still in the mix. We've got the LGBT Foundation producing documentation for the NHS. What the hell are you doing? Stop them. Stop them dead, all of them. Name them. Fire them. Get them out. Get them gone. Stop fannying about. The time for messing around is over. Not one more gay child. Not one more child who is distressed. Not one more child who thinks they are something they are not, being told that it's possible that they might be. The first and only response to the red flag of a gender identity proclamation is no. You aren't, never can be, and never will be. What do you want to do next? We need to demedicalize this. Gender dysphoria is a social contagion. The idea of a gender identity is a religious cult belief system. Where's the educational triage, folks? Where is it? The educational triage at the beginning. That's what we need. Let me know what you think. Do you think we need an educational triage? I think we need an educational triage. Why shouldn't we have an educational triage? I might put a poll up on YouTube and see what you lot have to say. In fact, I will. Go well. All right, that's enough. Go read the article. I know it's The Guardian, but you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Go and read the article. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.